Alright, you're still watching Ways or Buta. Now, the idea to celebrate International Mother Tongue Day was the initiative of Bangladesh. It was approved in the 1999 UNESCO General Conference and has been observed throughout the world since 2000. UNESCO believes in the importance of cultural and linguistics diversity for sustainable societies. Now, it is within its mandate for peace that it works to serve or to preserve the differences in culture and languages that foster tolerance and respect for others. Linguistics diversity is increasingly threatened as more and more languages disappear. Globally, 40% of the population does not have access to an education in the language they speak or understand. So nevertheless, progress is being made in mother tongue based multilingual education with growing understanding of its importance, particularly in early school learning, and more commitment to its development in the public life. So I say again, Obota. So how do you say good evening in your mother tongue?
In Yoruba, Ekurole.
Ekurole.
Iriale.
Iriale. As an Ishekiri woman.
As an Ishekiri woman. Iriale.
Iriale.
So, sounds like
who says
yes.
Migwo? Migwo is Urobo.
Migwo is Urobo.
Urobo.
Yes.
Esan will say
what do you say that in your language?
In Benin, yes, now Obota. Obota, yes. Then in Hausa language you say Inagajia, Inaini. Just yeah. So
you tend towards Hausa more than even your own.
Yeah, I know vex.
I cannot hear you say. I was raised and bring Katina. I was there to say, I beg you, can you?
I did they born me. I didn't arewa in a geiswa. Yeah,
the Northerners must love your loyalty.
Oh yes,
to that.
yeah, Cookie. I actually love the North. I'm a diehard fan of the North.
I can tell.
See, I'm in Nigeria.
Oh, there she goes again.
Yeah.
Can we move on quickly?
Are you starter?
I am jealous. I wish I can speak Hausa. I find the language very fascinating.
I love their language and their culture. It's something that I've always wanted to learn.
Not much for their culture, but more like the language for me.
But the thing with language and schooling, because I learned Yoruba in school, but almost it's just to pass exam. You know, you just cram.
Which school? When you were in the
When I was in GSS, yes. Now, so we in GSS we had a major language and a minor language. So language 1, language 2. Language 1 is usually the one you're strongest in.
Yes.
Language 2 is the one you are trying to learn. So a lot of people used to do, I know even nearer Igbo, I couldn't even for the life of me understand that language. But Yoruba was easier because my mom is very fluent. She was born and bred in Lagos.
Yeah,
so in fact, when they want to gossip with her siblings, it's always Yoruba language. They speak, even up till now. They all live in the US, and if you see them with their Yoruba, you would think that they are Lagosians. So that was how come it was easier for me to pick Yoruba as a second language. Yeah. So when I picked Yoruba as a second language, I could read, I could write, I could do everything in Yoruba, like
but
just to pass exam.
Almost,
I can't. You know, so when I see my children now getting A's in Yoruba, I say, don't worry, very soon you lose it. So that's why with them, they take their French very seriously. I'm making sure they don't lose the language. I tell my sister, please speak with them, you know, because I know how easy. Yeah. You can be very good with book language but
and when it comes to speaking,
interaction
it's a different one.
It's not easy. You know, so I would really. Do your children speak the language though?
Yoruba.
Yes.
Ta.
I
kukuma speak to them.
Okay.
But you know they have a attitude of speaking it back to you in English. When you talk to them in Yoruba, they just
have to just make them
I need you to speak Yoruba.
And
they attempt it and I laugh. But really, I believe we should always imbibe our children to speak our language. I think one of the reasons that makes it easier for us growing up is because that's our official language. That's what you speak at home. But now we communicate with our children in English.
Yes.
So it's a bit tough for them to take that language.
Honestly, my children are really upset with us that we're not teaching them Hausa language. They're so upset.
Because your husband speaks it and you speak it so fluently.
My husband, in his mind, my language is watered down, so he cannot converse with me in Hausa.
Are you serious?
Like it's an insult. As far as it's concerned, my Hausa is like, you know, so because he speaks the conch Hausa, so he doesn't speak to me in Hausa, it's English. And I've told him, I said, you are the one doing your children because
he's the one that should have taken it up to teach them. That was the
same thing that happens to me too. Because I mean, growing up, my dad is Shekiri, mom is Ijo. We can't speak any. It's only when relatives come to the house, you start hearing, what you saying? You're speaking in Shekiri. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Don't embarrass me.
Joy, we've taken a lot of time.
Okay. Yes, we have.
Language
day. What did you find for us in this? We're going to run through this.
Okay. NAFDAC raises alarm over circulation of contaminated Ponmo in Lagos.
Are you serious?
Yes. So the National Agency of Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, yesterday cautioned members of the public to be wary of contaminated animal hides and skin, popularly known as Ponmo, being sold in Lagos State. Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, stated this while announcing the seizure of a large quantity of the products and 7 importers in Lagos. She warned members of the public, particularly consumers of Ponmo, against the activity of unscrupulous businessmen and traders who are selling industrial animal hides and skin for human consumption.
Jesus.
This country.
I mean, the general public needs to be aware of this, because I mean it's causing more harm than people even imagine. She stressed that the danger of consuming the toxic Ponmo include risk of liver diseases, kidney diseases, heart damages, increased risk in plastic anemia, central nervous system, and toxicity with cancer. First of all, Ponmo has no nutritional value.
But we
Don't tell that
like
to
it. Stop it.
Like, it doesn't have nutritional value.
Stop it.
Why would people be washing Ponmo or washing animal skin with chemicals just because they want to preserve it? And that's actually causing more
Is it that
danger.
part?
So are you
Even the
telling
one-
me
what about the
that
ones that
both
burn-
of you on
they
my
burn
right
tire?
and on my left, you don't eat Ponmo?
I don't
love
like it. I don't like it.
Actually do love
You
it.
eat it?
I don't like Ponmo.
Okay.
I mean, right from when I was in secondary school,
There's
they say
no how.
food and nutrition, Ponmo does not have nutritional value. Since
And that was
then-
what you anchored it on.
Yes, and I stopped eating.
I think beyond the preference for Ponmo or Ponmo consumption, it is really horrible that our people
Are doing this
profit
like
I said
from
even outside of
people's-
people that wash it with chemical, there are people that use used tires to you know, when they want to burn out the hair.
yes.
You know, they've always been warning us about that. Now you now add chemical to it.
like-
That's crazy.
And the annoying thing now is that if these people are doing this, you're doing it to humans that would eat it and probably fall sick and die. And people will be wondering, where is your sickness coming from?
I think it's really cruel
It's very
on
bad.
us
Really,
to,
really,
bad.
it's really
To
to be
cruel.
mindless of how we do business just because
Want to make
we
profit.
think that
Profit.
it doesn't affect us directly and
That's
we let
wickedness.
business desire drive on that good conscience.
That's wicked.
It's a
Completely
horrible
unfair.
behavior.
Yeah.
For me, what I have in the news is about Jakpa. President Buhari seeks partnership with EU to stop the mass migration of Nigerian youth. Our president is really concerned about the brain drain going on in the economy, as so many Nigerians are moving abroad for greener pastures. President Buhari seeks partnership with EU to stop the mass migration of Nigerian youth. And he mentioned that during a meeting he spoke at Brussels in Belgium on the 6th EU African Summit, seeking partnership with European countries to stop the trend. And according to an article published on the Politico offline magazine, Buhari said, by 2050, Africa's population of 1.3 billion is set to double, making up a quarter of the world's total. My country, Nigeria, is set to double its population to 400 million by then, surpassing the United States to become the third largest nation in the world. So if you really have so much people, I wonder why then our president is making effort to stop Nigerians from going into the diaspora market. But I believe the choice to migrate or to stay put is a personal decision.
Yes, it is.
If you have a functioning system and a
Nobody would want
sustained economy, I think nobody really wants to live outside of this country. I had the privilege of schooling abroad, and I know for a fact I wasn't going to stay in the UK. I had my return ticket even at the time I was taking my courses. So, but then, for someone like me who is naturally entrepreneurial, I find Nigeria an enabling environment to thrive. For people who are wired to work, they would naturally prevent a structured working economy to a Nigerian system. So I believe what the government should work on is enabling and to make sure that our environment is enabling enough that people really want to come into Nigeria as against leaving Nigeria.
True.
So the conversation should not be about trying to partner with EU to stop Nigerians from migrating. It should be about how can we
make
work
Nigeria
together
better.
to make Nigeria a better place
Absolutely.
for even the white man to want to come to Nigeria.
They're already coming. Trust me, they see what you're not saying.
Exactly.
But you know what? Let me take my story quickly. I wanted to sell my Olympics gold medal before I became a bus driver. This is from Obiekwu the 1996 Olympic gold medalist. Now, Kingsley Obiekwu was a member of the Nigerian football team that won the gold medal in 1996 and the former Super Eagle defender. He has transformed from being a tire mender, a bus conductor, and now a driver. Tamna Ayinja writes that Obiaku's tough battles of life, of course, we all know the story. When you're not able to make any ends meet, you find ways to, to survive. So this is basically the story of this guy that was once, celebrated, for winning a gold medal in Nigeria. So I think I have a bit of mixed feelings, because I read a few comments who were saying that pray you never find something like this that happens to you. But I keep on saying that in this country is where I've seen that you are very wealthy, living in a rented house. People don't think long term. They don't think investment. They don't think insurance. They don't think so many things. So when you see things like this happen, I mean, my husband had driven a downfall bus before, but that was when he was trying to look for a job. Do you understand? But I wouldn't say that we have that culture of saying, okay, let me save for the rainy day, let me invest for the rainy day. We don't have that investment culture. So we will still go back to that investment culture, the savings culture we talked about. We'll bring more guests to talk about it, because you cannot overemphasize investment.
Financial planning is
one of the biggest things, because and there's a prime. You have a peak period where you are actually booming, everything is happening to you and all of that. How are you maximizing that for a later
years?
Do you understand? That is a simple mathematics.
Even having a retirement plan too
is
really important.
We don't have that.
Because I think what everybody basically is thinking is what you're contributing to your PSA, like your pension system at the moment, will serve you, but it's not. Because by the time you retire, probably it's a particular percentage that you'll be collecting, and it might not even be able to cover your bills, your children's, a couple of things might not be able to be sorted. So you have to.
Unfortunately, we run out of time. Right. Let's bring in our guests. We want to discuss House of Representatives, Milola and our guests.
Milola,
we'll face you people.
Right, online.